What's up, everybody? Thank you for checking out episode 2 of the Prism Podcast. It's a pretty exciting time, trying to get people on board with interviews, trying to, make sure that I'm, coming to the table with refreshing topics, making sure I'm sharp. And it's weird, kind of listening to the sound of my own voice for the first time, but I guess that's something that you get over, as time goes on. But anyway, for episode 2 of the podcast, I had my good friend Ray D'Onofrio on. Ray is somebody who I've known for a long time, and as you'll see in the episode, which is about 2 hours, we talk in length about a lot of cool things, right? Ranging from, the state of the NFL, right, to Instagram rappers and pranksters, all the way to, the good times that we had growing up. There was a lot of those good times, and also, we're able to talk about a lot of things in length. So, that's why I wanted to have, Mr. D'Onofrio on. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the second episode of the Prism Podcast. Okay, Ray, after an hour and 20 minutes of $40 spent on recording software, we're finally here and we're live. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Honestly, it's going to be worth the wait, so I'm not even stressed.
Well, I wouldn't bet on it. I would not bet on it. So what happened was, this is episode 2. This is episode 2, so Ray, thank you for coming on for episode 2.
It is an honor.
We'll see how many more after this one come about. But what happened was I downloaded this program that would help me download Skype files, which I use to record the interviews. And the trial that I had expired today, and it was crashing my Skype, so I had to go ahead and spend $40 on the damn software.
Corporate America. Corporate
America, and it better be worth it, because I think this might be a $50 interview. Not a $40 interview. This is a $50 interview. And to give a little bit of background into my man Ray D'Onofrio here, this has been my boy for years. I can't even...
A really long time.
An extremely long time. I can't even really tell you what year we met, but I'll tell you where it definitely started, and that was the field. Whether it was soccer or baseball. And the funny thing about Ray, and this is true today, especially with bowling, is that everything he did, if he threw the ball, if he kicked the ball, that shit was going fucking fast. And Ray, when he bowls, has the most, I wouldn't say nonchalant, but the most graceful bowling technique. That shit doesn't even sound like it hits the ground. It just glides across the lane, and it's 26 mile an hour, and a pin goes through the fucking wall into the parking lot.
It's just the perfect stroke.
It's the perfect stroke. You need to trademark that. But me and Ray, like I was saying, we go back a long time, and our friend group kind of, goes back a while, and we all kind of met through sports. We were all at either Garden Street or JFK, and then we went to CV Star.
But CV Star, where we all came together.
Do you remember Mr. Hennessy?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what he said. I don't know if you remember this, but at the beginning of CV Star orientation, he's like, okay, I want you to make 10 JFK friends, this first half of the year. Then the second half, I want you to make another 20, so you have 20 JFK friends. But at the time, I thought all JFK kids smell like shit, so I didn't want to. It was the jail for kids.
Jail for kids.
What'd you guys call Garden Street?
Garbage Street.
Garbage. Well, now it's Nothing Street, because that school, I think there was asbestos or something.
Something like that, but I've heard people say it was haunted now and shit. I don't know. I don't mess with that.
I don't do well, and this is actually a great segue. I don't do well with scary shit, and Ray has exploited that throughout the years.
Oh man, just putting on the clown masks,
What I don't even want to talk about it, but what was the best time in which you or the guys got me? Because there was a couple good ones.
Oh my god.
This is self-deprecation at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. It takes years of years of training to get to this level of self-deprecation?
I don't even know, man. Like sometimes we would like one of us would just put that mask on. It was like a scary clown mask, like you would see out of like a horror movie. And no matter what, if you like caught a glimpse of that mask, you would just go completely like crazy.
It's weird. It's weird because now I'm not like as scared, but I remember Halloween one year at Dan's house. Do you remember that year?
I think I do, yeah.
Where we were all just chilling in his kitchen, I think. And I like to this day I'm like looking back on it right now like holy shit. But I remember, I was not facing the window, my back was to the window. You guys just look outside. You all are facing in front of me, which I should have known from the get-go that everybody was not on the same side of the table as me. And I turn around and it's one of you goons with probably the scariest clown mask you guys have ever bought. And I couldn't even walk home that night. I like sprinted home as fast as I could. Yeah, the NFL Combine should have had the 40-yard measure during that time because I probably would have hit a 4.2 all the way home.
Oh man. And you're lucky that Dan's house is very, very close to your house.
I think Dan has one of the scariest houses.
Yeah.
I've told him this. Like,
just because it's like wherever you are, like it's just so quiet, but at any point there could be like something crazy going on.
Yeah. No, it's totally true. It's totally true. And there's a bunch of mirrors and shit.
The basement, don't even get me started on the basement. As soon as you walk into the basement, it's just like, oh my God, like endless amounts of clothes, like pipes, and just like creepiness.
it's that the cross base that's like above. I always imagined like me running. Dan, and this is fucked up. Dan Blazquez would make me go down there and get shit when I was at his house, and I would imagine like Jigsaw on his little bike, like coming out of the darkness of the cross space, like I want to play a game.
Oh my God.
No thanks. I'm out of here. Yeah, and there's been so many of those like good memories between all of our houses. You know what
Seriously.
I mean?
Like between everyone's, honestly, like even like Ray Dan's house.
Yeah, it's just the shit that you get into with your friends growing up.
It's like the stuff that we've gotten into, like especially at Dan's house, like some of the stuff like I can't even remember. I mean, for other reasons, but
well, as you, it's funny you say that. It's like, all right, before like drinking and stuff, right? We had a certain kind of fun, right?
Yeah, it was
go
was
ahead.
stupid fun.
Stupid fun, like the fun that you can only have when you're sober and you're like 13 years old.
And just high on like sugar, just like straight sugar, like whatever we could find. Like we would just like pig out and eat like junk food, and just like play Rock Band for 5 hours.
I remember I was at Dan's house one time, and this is like the second or third time that I slept over at Dan's house, and Ryan was there, and I like walk out into the kitchen. These guys are pouring like packets of sugar into water, and they're chugging it. And they're like, we gotta stay up late. We gotta stay up really late. You want to have some? And I'm like, what the fuck is that, dudes? It's sugar water. We'll keep you up. We'll keep you up. And I'm like, all right. But yeah, that kind of fun, right? And then you had like the parties at Dan's house, or like Blackout Fridays at Dan's house. But the common denominator
is
the common denominator is stupid shit is insinuating.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what we did, it was always some stupid shit. Like even on what was that, the 4th of July, we were shooting each other with Roman candles.
It's like you step into Dan's house and it's like the Wild West of just things that you can do.
For real. Like, and his house is just so big that like
there's a lot of room for activities.
Yeah, you feel like you're walking for a mile when you walk across Dan's entire house.
Do you remember it's so true. Do you remember so the pool room, right? We had 2 TVs set up in the pool room or something like that.
No, I think there was like one in the pool room and one in his room, and we were playing like Call of Duty or something.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
each other.
I remember playing Knockout as well with that little fucking
That
hoop.
was completely savage.
I don't.
Like
I so dude, like it's ridiculous.
in such a small space, like 8 like teenage boys playing the game of Knockout, which is meant to be played on like an actual basketball court, but we're playing with a tiny ball on a tiny rim.
It
And
made no
just like
sense. It was almost
completely,
like we were asking to go to the hospital,
completely bodying each other while we were running back and forth. Like
and nobody ever got hurt, like seriously
no,
hurt,
no.
which is amazing. Which is amazing. I'm surprised like somebody didn't like check Sack down the stairs. I love you, Sack. If you ever hear that, it would probably be me going down the stairs, to be honest with you.
Oh
But either
god.
way, someone will be going down the stairs, and that's
Yeah.
all. That's all that counts at the end of the day.
I think we should have another game of Knockout like that, but this time make it into a drinking game. What do you think about that?
So, what would the rules be of that? Let's establish some ground, and then maybe we can do it when everybody gets back.
That would be awesome. I mean, maybe if every time you miss a shot, you have to take a shot.
Okay, so that would actually be fucking great because not you're at least making a shot, right?
Yeah.
If you're missing a shot, you're making a shot at the end of the day. So like people aren't even going to be trying to shoot the ball into the hoop.
Yeah, they
Which,
just won't even care, especially after the first 3 shots.
especially after the first 3 shots, that or it just gets really fucking aggressive. You know what I mean? And like somebody will actually get hurt.
I mean, in 10 minutes, somebody would actually get hurt, and all the alcohol would be gone.
Well, do you want to hear? Do you want to hear a funny story? You want to hear? Well, it's not funny, but it's. I'm surprised this never happened to us. So my sophomore year, I had a roommate, and my other roommate and him were slapboxing. You know what slapboxing is, right?
Yeah.
So that's like some shit that we would get into, like both back then and today. So these two kids are playing slapboxing, right? And one of my roommates goes to like hit the other. The other roommate dislocates his knee, like 90 fucking
Oh,
degrees. And
ow.
he's like on the floor, like, oh my god. And we're all like, he's fucking joking until I see his kneecap on the fucking other side of his leg.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, Matt, if that ever happened, like when we were all we've done some crazy shit. Like we wouldn't sleep, we'd fucking like pile drive each other when we were sleeping.
Yeah.
Remember like all sleeping in the big room at Dan's house, the living room?
Bro, I remember when we had WWE wrestling matches at your house in
Oh
your
my
upstairs room.
god.
Bro, that was savage. We were playing, I don't remember what it was. We were either playing it on like PlayStation or watching it on TV, and then we all thought that we were like wrestling legends, and we
I
all were
remember that. I think I dislocated
all
Ryan Sketty's thumb
shut up.
fucking wrestling up there. Yep, 6th grade. I remember it. Fucking Ryan's a funny guy. So he dislocated his right thumb, right? And he obviously is a righty, so he writes with his right hand. And this guy just adapted to his left hand, and
Yo,
like would
this
be in
kid
math class, like
wrote
doing
with-
equations with his left hand. I'm like, yo, I can barely like count to 12.
Man, he embraced that injury, and he toughed it out.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has a scar on his thumb that forever will remind him of me and our wrestling matches.
Oh god.
I know.
That was crazy.
It's just these little times that you have, dude. Like, you grow up fast. You do.
Yeah.
You grow up really fast.
Mhm.
You're not thinking about that as it's happening. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not like sitting there as a 13-year-old like, oh god, this is all gonna be over soon. Like, I got all my buddies. We're like fucking playing Call of Duty. We're shooting pool. We're playing Knockout. Like we're doing all of the fun things that you do when you're that young, but you don't really think about you know, what's happening when it's
It feels like
happening.
it's never ending. It feels like it's not going to end. But
It's
well,
blissful.
yeah, little did we know, like some of us aren't even in the same state as each other anymore. I mean, it's kind of crazy how life works that way.
Growing up's insane, and I feel like I feel like I've been very nostalgic as of late. So, you know, whether that's
I agree 100%. It's definitely the time of year, the seasons, like Thanksgiving just passed, like Christmas is coming up, like starting to see like more of your family, starting to see more of your friends a little bit. Like when we all went out the night before Thanksgiving, like that was
right.
dope. Like
Yeah, yeah, it's and oh, that was actually a lot of fun. That was a great night,
yeah,
Thanksgiving night. It's crazy, dude. And the reason why I say nostalgic, because nostalgic is kind of, I think the terminology is wishing you can go back, and I
yeah,
don't wish I can go back. Right, I wish I can have a better appreciation for it all.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you don't really realize all these crazy little moments that we've had, until they're gone. And that's definitely true today because we're only 23.
because
We're
yeah,
still
I'll be
babies.
100% honest. Like some of the stuff we did back then, like I have no memories of. Like,
Really?
I can't remember. Yeah, but like that's like that just goes to show how much stuff we actually got into, and like we were always doing something. You know what I mean?
Always doing something, dude. And it's cool though that like some of us are still in Brewster. We all hang
Yeah,
out. But it's not like we're all seniors in high school or we're like coming back from you know winter break freshman year or
yeah,
something like that. Like we're established. We're doing our own things. And it's kind of crazy trying to almost hold on to certain things.
yeah.
Like
Because
you want to have things a certain way.
we did not have a blackout Friday this year.
We did not have a Blackout Friday this year. Well, Dan was working. I pressed Dan on it, but
Yeah,
you know, we'll make up for it when everybody's back. Cause I know the Martins are coming back, right?
yeah. I think they're coming back for Christmas. Yeah, so that should
That's
be
cool.
cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna
And then
be it's gonna
yeah,
be wavy as fuck.
oh, 100%.
And you know what's grinding my gears, D'Onofrio?
What?
Well, besides this whole technical difficulty shit, but can we just talk briefly about fantasy football?
Yeah, I always talk about fantasy football.
You and I, and I'm like vomiting as I'm saying this because I'm so disgusted with the way I went out.
Well, let's just say that this was the first week of the playoffs in our league, and we are both now playing golf, as one would say.
I'm not even
We're
playing golf. I'm playing mini golf.
we're officially eliminated from the contention of winning $1,000 in fantasy football.
You want to know what I would have done with that $1,000, Ray?
What would you have done with that $1,000, Brian?
Well, first of all, number one, if I won $1,000, I wouldn't have to worry about paying $40 for the stupid software that that I've been bitching about, for the past hour and a half while we've been getting started here. But I probably would have bought everybody a drink. Everybody
Okay.
one drink. That's it, one drink. And then I would produce the coolest video that I could. I would use some of the money, and produce a really cool video to post on the Facebook page. Because our fantasy page is like our football league is fucking awesome. We have
Yeah,
this group chat that goes off all the time, which is great, right? Everyone shit talks, but it's just fun. It's something fun to do, but it's unfortunate that you and I were knocked out the first round.
yeah. I mean, I wasn't even supposed to make the playoffs in the first place. I mean, with David Johnson going down week one, I was kind of a lost cause for the entire season. But I somehow made it from 1-5 to 6-7 on the end of the year.
That's
Uh,
insane.
like losing 5 in a row and then and then winning 5 in a row, like it's just crazy.
I think there's some insider trading happening here.
I,
If you turn your program around,
I
Mr.
wouldn't say
D'Onofrio.
that because I only made one trade in the entire season, and that was with Mr. Sacchetti.
Of course it was.
And that was the trade that gave him Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna win. I think Tim's gonna win.
I mean, we saw what his team can pull off, but I think Tim has a better chance because he has more consistency out of all of his players when Ryan just has consistency out of Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown.
You know, if I beat you when we first played, where you won by 2 points, you probably wouldn't even be in the playoffs. But that's how fantasy football works, dude. It's
that's
like
right.
Any given Sunday, it's like real football.
Wow, like I was actually in the gym when I was watching that game on the TV. I think it was the Eagles game, and I had the Eagles defense, and I was just praying for them to like get anything, like a sack, an interception, anything to get me a win, and they pulled it off.
Yeah,
and I felt like screaming at the top of my lungs inside the gym in front of everybody.
Well, you know what's your deal? I have a bone to pick with you, Ray. I have a fucking bone to pick with you publicly right now. What's funny about you and Ray Dan? Don't even get me started on Ray Dan, what he did, but I'll get to that in a second. You'll be like, you'll text me Sunday afternoon.
Like, yo, I don't know, man.
I'm out of it. There's no way I'm gonna win. Fuck fantasy football. Oh my god. Comes back and wins by 2 points. It's almost everybody that he plays. It's almost the same language.
I mean,
Why do you do that?
Like I said today, like
is it like reverse? Hold on a second. Is it like reverse like a reverse thing with you, where it's like, oh, I'm not gonna win, and then like you don't think you're gonna win, but then you end up winning.
I get in the mind of my competitor, bro. That's just who I am. That's just how I
We treat fantasy football like we have an effect on what the players do.
Exactly. Like it's literally 10% skill, like with drafting and like picking up people on the waiver wire, and like knowing what to bet on each player. But
yeah.
The other 90% is just straight luck. Like you could have a team full of like MVPs, and 1 week they could all just like shit the bed. Like, and a team with like a whole bunch of duds that usually have shitty weeks will come out on top and score like crazy amounts of points.
Well, that's fantasy football for you.
Exactly.
It's like barely any. There's skill involved, like you said, with the waiver wire, with kind of being able to read the schedule, being able to start certain players. But at the end of the day, like you just have, it's like your guesses versus somebody else's guesses.
Really, like picking up Alvin Kamara. I was like week 3 or week 4.
Right.
But I had no idea he was going to be the top 3 running back, like, and take me to the playoffs. Like I had no idea. I was just somebody to fill in for David Johnson after he went down. But,
or did he know about it? That's the real question.
It's honestly, it was just luck. I saw him. He had a good game like the week before. Mm-hmm. I was like whatever. What do I have to lose? You know. So I got him, and then I actually almost traded him, which probably would have ruined my season even more.
Well, let me tell you what Ray Dan did, and you're gonna love this. And I'm gonna send him the link to this podcast so I can tell him how I actually feel. It's 4:30 on Sunday, right? He's projected to get like 100 points. This is before Carson Wentz tore his ACL. I'm projected to get like 150 points. So I'm like, oh, pop champagne. Gonna beat Dan, on the way out. Let's do it. He calls me. He pretty much concedes. Like, it was almost like Clinton calling Trump conceding. He's like, oh, Brian, just congratulations. Hope you beat Dan in the next round. I'm sitting there like, yo, this is not over. I'm like, thank you, but it's not over. So, I'm sober, hate fantasy football, this and that. And what do you know? He comes back and beats me because the Pittsburgh Steelers get -2 points, which is, I can't even fucking believe how they did that. If I got 10 points, I would have won. If they got 10 points, I would have won. If they got 8 points, I would have won.
No, that was just a crazy game between the Ravens and the Steelers. What was the final score? Like 39-38? Like,
yeah. It was 39-38, man.
Like I said, like that was just lucky. He got lucky, just like Dan got lucky, just like Sacchetti got lucky. Every single round except for Tim and Lou got lucky.
That's the thing about fantasy football, though, I guess. And it's funny because you try to talk shit like there's skill involved.
Yeah.
Like, your team sucks. Like, your running backs are shit. It's like I can't control my running backs and how good they are.
you have to talk shit. I mean, no matter what, like, no matter what you say or what anybody else says, like, we're all still like boys, and this is like the league.
This is the league, and I didn't want to be Brett Favre. I wanted to be Peyton Manning. I wanted to have two.
Yeah.
But I gotta wait until next year, I guess.
Same here, man. I wanted to be Eli Manning, actually. I wanted to take my team through the playoffs with a win streak and come out on top.
I think I'm going to draft Carson Wentz every year for the rest of my life.
Bro, I mean, that's not a bad idea. He's gonna be a really good quarterback. I mean, as much as I hate the Eagles, I mean, I definitely hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Eagles. But I feel like the Eagles still have a good chance to be a Super Bowl favorite this year because Nick Foles, like, he's not a scrub.
He's not. I was gonna pick him up if I beat Ray.
That would have been a solid pickup too.
I would have picked him up because Matt Ryan was doing shit up until that point, and he was a high pick for me. He was a super high pick for me, and he was a total bust.
Well, I know how that feels, bro, because like 3 of my top 4 picks didn't last me half the season. So,
swear to God, fantasy football has taken 2 years off my life, at least. And if you count with all the other things that are stressing me out, I'm gonna die at like 65. So yeah, let the record show. For when the time comes, you guys will have the prediction right here. So you were mentioning that you hate the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like them. I wouldn't say I hate them. I don't like them.
Okay, but you don't like the Cowboys. Like, that's for
Definitely
sure.
Don't like the Cowboys.
What team? What like professional sports team do you hate the most in any league or any sport?
120% the Boston Red Sox.
Really? That's weird because I 150% hate the Boston Red Sox. that fucking Sox and the accent and all their shit.
It's the Boston accents, the fact that they can grow their facial hair out. Like, I can't talk because I have a beard, but like, just like the fact that they can do that. Like, I feel like if you're an athlete and you're on like a great team, a great organization, you should like have some kind of rules with that. But I mean, like, the Yankees and I think the Athletics are the only 2 teams that have that rule. I could be wrong. There might be a couple more, but a lot of teams are letting players do that now. I mean, look at what Justin Turner looked like last season. He didn't shave his beard or cut his hair once.
Right, that's true. Well, I think the Yankees are just like a first-class organization. They've
always been that way.
They've had that tradition for forever. Do you remember when Damon came in and it was a whole PR stunt getting all of his shit cut off?
Yeah, I mean, that was like that was a huge moment too in like Yankees Red Sox rivalry.
It was a big moment, not as big as Babe Ruth, of course, but I still have my Johnny Damon Expressway sign hanging up in my room because he was such a fucking OG to me when he came to the Yankees. He
was a great Yankee, and I definitely am thankful that he played for New York for a couple years.
And let's hope that this year we can get 28. Now we have Stanton, right? We have potential new things happening here. So what do you think the 2018 outlook is looking like? Because I kind of see you as like the Yankee expert, because I know you watch almost all the games, right?
Yeah, last season I watched a lot of games, and I watched every single playoff game. Like, even if I was at work, I would put that shit on my phone, on the computer, like whatever it may be. But I didn't miss a single playoff game.
Yeah, I didn't either. It was if you were a Yankees fan and you weren't invested, there's something wrong with you, because it was really hard not to love the team last year.
No, because I have a friend that I work with, and he's like very superstitious. Okay. And when they won, when they beat the Indians, when they moved on to play the Astros, he said he didn't watch any of the games that the Yankees won.
What?
So, yeah.
That's so super. That's such a baseball thing.
Yeah, so they won one game he didn't watch it, so he didn't watch the next 3 that they won. And I mean, it's probably just like a coincidence, like a crazy coincidence, but
it's definitely a crazy coincidence.
Yeah,
because things you do.
I mean, but this year for the Yankees, I mean, I feel like the only way to go is up, because like last season like was supposed to be our rebuilding year, and we took the Houston Astros, the World Series champs, to Game 7 of the ALCS, and with the addition of Giancarlo Stanton, we now have the Super Smash Bros. In the Bronx.
They're not the baby bombers anymore, ladies and
No,
gentlemen. They're back to the Bronx Bombers.
Definitely not. They're not the baby bombers anymore. But they do still have some baby bombers on the come up. I mean, we got that kid Andujar, we got Gleyber Torres, Clint Frazier, who is going to be a stud, and I will be so upset if we decide to trade him.
What position does he play?
Clint Frazier?
Yeah.
He played left field.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He only played a few games last year, but that was because there was a lot of injuries in the first half of the season.
That's true.
He had like a walk-off home run, like another walk-off hit, I think, and he just proved that he was built to be a Yankee. I mean, he came from the Yankees farm system. So.
And that's what they're doing a lot more of, too, because I remember, when it was kind of dry in the 2000s where we were just like picking off free agents, we've really gone back to our farm system.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Brian Cashman is a genius, and he knows exactly what he's doing. I mean, the Yankees did not really have to get Giancarlo Stanton, but the Marlins really didn't have any other options. I mean, they had like a couple other teams, but Jeter decided to help out his old team.
Sleeper agent, baby.
Yeah. I mean,
give us all the picks. Give us everything. He's going to come back and be the GM after Cashman inevitably gets fired for some shit.
Oh, God.
He signed an extension, Cashman, today, I think.
He did, yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
I'm looking
give
at
him all the money he wants. Give him all the money he wants because.
You think so?
Yeah, he is a wizard. He's done a lot for the team because like last year we could have just like we could have shit the bed, bro. We could have like not even like made it close to the playoffs. We could have came in last place in our division, but with the pieces that he put together, the team just kind of like coached themselves and made it to where they went. You know what I mean?
And they didn't have any expectations last year.
No, the over and under, I think, for their wins last year, I think it was like 84.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah, and they had almost 100 wins. I think they had like 92 or 93 wins.
It's amazing. Like, I think that's almost better for a team, and they're a young team, so they were like, oh, nobody thinks we're gonna do shit this year, but little do people know we have all these pieces.
Yeah.
And you said
100%.
you said that like Cashman, like nobody expected us to have that success, right? So who does the credit go to for that success last year? Is it like Cashman? Is it Girardi? Is it the players? Like who kind of, takes the credit for having that breakout season?
I mean, in my opinion, this is just my personal opinion, it definitely goes to the players because they really fought out a lot of games last season that were like crucial games. Like, right. So many games were decided in the last 2 innings. Like it's crazy. But I would definitely say like Aaron Judge would be the most important person on the team last year because
sure.
If there was no Aaron Judge on the Yankees last year, there would be no wild card game.
Right.
Which everybody thought the Yankees were going to lose.
Yep.
There's it's just crazy how one player had such a huge impact on the team when there's a whole platoon of other players that are doing just as well, but there's just that one giant on the team.
Big giant.
Judge.
6'7".
The gentle giant.
Should be a tight end.
I'm definitely going to say he's in the top 3 of my favorite athletes.
Yeah, he's in that entire team. You go from the big 4, right?
Yeah.
Transitioning from that era, right? And this is where Cashman kind of comes into play. Being able to revamp the team and have young studs, right? Who are, can you imagine the core 4 or whatever, the big 4, doing the camcorder thing? Can you imagine these guys doing the thumbs down? You can't. With this new squad.
It's definitely new school. Everything about them is new school, and I love it.
New school.
it gives you a new perspective on like, damn, like we're watching all these players like come up, like grow up with us, and just like it's a new generation of athletes, and that's why I love sports so much, bro. Because like ever since we were little, like we were watching like the A-Rods and like the Kobe Bryants, and now we're seeing people like the Aaron Judges or like the Giannis Antetokounmpo and like those
Wow,
crazy.
you said his last name right.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
Ante Tecumpo? Is that how you say it? Ante Tecumpo.
Antetokounmpo, yeah, but
Yanni.
like and the Russell Westbrooks and like the people who are young athletes, but they are proving that the new generation of kids that are coming up are just going to keep getting better and better.
I don't know what I would do if I didn't have sports.
Me either.
I wouldn't meet you guys. I wouldn't
Exactly.
meet half the friends that I grew up with, right? Probably more, like 75%, right? Because, like, you got to find, like, sports was a huge common denominator, like, for a lot of kids in our
No
upbringing.
matter what sport it was, I mean, like whether it be baseball, soccer. Soccer was early though. Soccer
Yeah, it
was about, like us, like Ray Dan, Sean Ferenz, like all those kids.
Oh my God, Sean Friends. He likes all my Instagram photos, so thanks a lot, Sean, if you ever hear this. He likes all my IG photos. Him and Adam Mackey, too. And Adam Mackey's got a nice little following going on with his helicopter stuff. Have you seen it?
No, I have not, but that
cool.
sounds dope.
I'm giving you a free plug right now, Mackey. Even though you're probably only going to get 50 some odd listeners anyway. But hey, if you get one, I did my job.
Know. You really never know, man. Like,
yeah, he's doing a lot of cool shit too, man. But the common denominator of all these things for a lot of us is sports. You know, we're all Yankees fans, right? And that was a huge, huge thing. Because, like, baseball is not like football where it's, like, from September to February. It's, like, from March and April all the way to October, November.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it takes up a huge part of our calendar when we were growing up.
I've always liked baseball more than any other sport, just because it was the one that I played the most,
Yeah,
the one that I played the longest. I mean, I played football for 1 year. I wish I played more. I wish I started playing in like middle school with everybody else, because then I feel like I would have took it more seriously and like actually like liked it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But baseball was always my first love, and now like I really like I follow baseball more than I follow any other sport. I mean, like the Yankees in general, but I always like to see what's going on in baseball. I mean, football too, but football is definitely the most how do you say, important sport.
Oh yeah, it's well, a couple things. Football is interesting because you have all this crazy shit going on with it.
Yeah.
You know, you have CTE stuff, right, which is a huge concern.
I was actually going to say something about that, like the amount of injuries that brought like a lot of players that are really, really good.
Yeah.
Like they ended their season, and it changed the outcome. Like everybody thought that the Patriots were going to go 18-0 and like win the Super Bowl, but injuries and like crazy stuff. I mean, even look at the Giants, bro. Like I'm not even gonna like front about that, but like everybody thought the Giants were going to win the Super Bowl this year, but look what happened there.
Did they really think that?
Yeah, a lot of people were putting bets on the Giants to win the Super Bowl because they added Brandon Marshall, and now look where they are. They don't have Odell, Brandon Marshall, Ben McAdoo is gone, Jerry Reese is gone. Like they're in total panic mode. Which I mean, it's got to happen to every organization. Just, it sucks because it's the New York Giants and they're a New York team, so the media is really sticking it to them.
Yeah, well, welcome to the world of a Jets fan, my man. glad you can join us in the pit of misery.
At least, we'll be coming back next year or the year after and have a great season. The Jets will just always suck.
I'm glad that we're having all of this recorded, so when the Giants inevitably eat shit and the Jets go 18-0 or 19-0, we can have this recording here, and then you could deal with that for the rest of your life. You know, the thing with
it's one of those things, man, where time is just gonna have to tell.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to get too committed and invested into the 2018-2019 season. The Jets had a pretty good year, dude. I mean, all things considered.
I'm not going to take anything away from the Jets. I mean, they definitely had a better season than the Giants. That's all I can say, and a lot of other teams.
Well, who would have thought Josh McCown would have, it sucks that he broke his hand, and it really sucks because Robbie Anderson, I'm not going to talk more about fantasy football.
No more fantasy.
Trying to get over it. Deep breaths. In, out. Fuck you, Ray Dan. So anyway, you fucking caused me so much stress. The thing with the NFL and like all these other sports, like the NBA is on such a strong come up, and you can call it international at this point, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the NFL has. Say again.
The Ball brothers, they're going to play basketball in Lithuania.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I have a whole fucking spiel about that. Don't you worry. You have the NBA that's on a huge come up, right? They're international. They're doing all these things well. Nike, has their contract for jerseys. They're in China. They're in Mexico City. These ball players are superstars worldwide, right? Yeah. You get all this money, the new TV contracts. Everything is going right for the NBA. The MLB, you have big dingers happening, right? You have exciting ball. Like this past World Series was one of the best, and they keep getting better and better. The ALCS was great, NLCS was great. Baseball has a lot of exciting things going on, right, with all their young superstars. Football, though, you have almost all negatives.
Yeah. When the president is talking about the NFL and, like, politics are being brought into things and just, like, all the injuries and, like, especially, like, players like taking their anger out on the field and off the field, like all the domestic violence cases, like PEDs, like it's just there's so many negative things about the NFL that a lot of people are turned away from it in this day and age. Like it's hard for people to like the NFL now.
I agree, and even taking away like let's remove the political aspect for a second, because a lot of even without the whole political thing and the protests, right? You have like what seems like a record number of players getting hurt. You have the concerns of CTE, right? You're afraid that, like, and getting a little political, that rights of players aren't necessarily, you have a lot of different things going on in between with Goodell as well, like getting $50 million a year, some crazy shit, are in negotiations. Players not like trusting the league. There's a lot of not good things about the NFL right now, and it makes you wonder. How can they kind of get out of this PR nightmare?
Man, it's going to take some time. I mean, it's definitely not something that's going to happen overnight. But I mean, as long as like people like us, like who love football that much that we don't really care about that other stuff. But I mean, it's not that we don't care. It's just like we don't let it bother us. You know what I mean?
Football is football to us.
Exactly. As long as there's 11 guys against another 11 guys out there, like playing for 60 minutes, like that's all I really care about. I just want to watch some football. I don't care about all the extra stuff.
It's true. They say that baseball is America's pastime, whereas football is America's passion.
Yeah, because it's a lot harder to watch 9 innings of baseball than a game of football.
100%. You don't play fucking baseball Thanksgiving Day, right?
Exactly.
You play in the Turkey Bowl. You don't play the fucking turkey basketball tournament. Right, it's ingrained in our culture, and the thing is, like, this thing is so ingrained in American culture. The NFL practically owns a day of the week. Yet, I'm slightly concerned, and I love football. Anyone knows me, I'm a huge like NFL and college football fan, but I'm concerned about the future of football. Because you have players that are concerned, like, am I supposed to hit this guy here? Like, should we just take off all of our pads? Like. Everything's pretty uncertain, and the guys from Part of My Take were talking about it this week in their podcast, which I'm sure you know. Like, what's the future of football? What does it hold?
It's really hard to tell. I mean, they could figure everything out, or it could just go all spiraling out of control. Like, especially if Goodell is signing an extension. I mean, a lot of people that don't like him very much.
Yeah.
I mean, every single draft, he comes out for every single pick and gets booed by everybody.
Everybody.
Until he says the name of whoever is getting drafted. But I mean, it's just crazy to think about like a world with no football.
I know, I know. Well, easy move to Europe. Then you'll have a different kind of football.
Yeah,
I hope soccer gets bigger. I really do. I'm a huge soccer fan. Played soccer in high school. I hope that gets bigger. But you mentioned Goodell gets booed right at the draft, and
yeah,
Adam Silver I think gets cheers or something along those lines. Like Adam Silver is, I think, universally well respected amongst
yeah,
fans, players, because he's given a lot of power and autonomy to players. And the good thing about the NBA, you have so many role models. You have all the right things are going on, right? The players have control. The players have their own voice. The NFL, though, however, is much more like totalitarian. What if the NFL moved towards an NBA style league in the sense of giving them control to kind of do more things, make some compromises, that being whether like it's medical marijuana or being able to do more with cleats. It's the little things that kind
yeah,
of make the cut deeper. And there's been so many little things with the NFL, not a lot of big things, but a lot of little things that kind of just make this like macro level confusion and tension. And the climate of it is crazy compared to the other leagues in the United States.
yeah, 100%. I mean, but I feel like the NFL is not going to go away. We're always going to have football to fall back on. It's just I do agree with you. I knew that there has to be a change when it comes to Roger Goodell.
Yeah, and the culture, man.
I feel like somebody who is familiar with like the culture of the new generation like needs to be the needs to be the Roger Goodell. You know what I mean? Like they have to like understand like people want change. They don't want to have the same thing happening all the time.
Right.
But I feel like now like it's on the brink of like everybody's starting to turn their backs because there is no change.
Yeah, you have all these, rich old guys who are running these teams, right? And you have Goodell, who's really kind of at the will of the owners, right? There's a lot of tension. And I think with the NBA, they just kind of figured it out. And also, the NBA is a lot more simple than football.
Yeah,
Like it's just a ball and a hoop. Like with the
exactly.
NFL, you have like 60 guys in your roster,
Yeah, and
right?
it happens only once a week. I mean, NBA games like there could be two or three or four a week.
Yeah,
But I mean, the NFL is just such a huge sport. I mean, it's only played. There's only 18 or 17 weeks, and then the playoffs, obviously. But it's such a short season with such a small amount of games that it just makes it that much like crazier when you put it in like the grand scheme of all other sports.
you're right. You're absolutely right. And, I think it's crazy how it's 17 weeks. Like, it happens so fast, You remember, like, opening kickoff, like, boom, it's finally here.
Yeah,
Then
and you blink
the
and
Super Bowl, and it's
it's
fucking over.
14 already. Like, and it's about like people are talking about playoff race and like it's just crazy.
I know, and people are getting knocked out of their fantasy leagues and shit.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the worst part.
Definitely the worst part. Fuck you, Ray Dan. Never gonna let it. I'm never gonna let it go. Never gonna let it go. I'm gonna go down to Pittsburgh and talk to the defensive coordinator and speak my mind a little bit. Then subsequently get my ass kicked by James Harrison. That fucking guy is a beast.
He is a beast. I've seen his videos on like Facebook and like Instagram and Twitter. He is just a monster.
It's not
Like
fair.
it really is not fair.
It's not fair, dude. Like, what the fuck? How old is he?
He's got to be in his upper 30s, like 38, I think 37, 38.
Yes, he has to be, dude. He has to be.
Oh,
And
God.
it's insane. It's insane. And the one thing though with sports is that it's such a unifying thing.
He's 39 years
He's
old, James.
39, James Harrison. This guy's a
Yeah,
fucking beast. Did you see that video of him where he's like, you wonder why I wear all the sweat shit,
yeah,
It's like,
So
'cause
he
I
doesn't
want you to
scare
see how big
anyone.
my arms are.
Yeah, he doesn't want to scare anyone.
I want to scare anybody. Dude, like, my arms make people laugh. My arms give people a good moment of their day. That's kind of where I'm at. Not even remotely close to that. You know what I mean? And the thing with Ray, guys, as well, kind of transitioning here. Ray, I consider him to be an expert at certain things. One of which, obviously, is the Yankees. His sports knowledge is absolutely off the charts. But another thing that Ray D'Onofrio is amazing at, both knowledge-wise and performing-wise, is rap. This guy he knows more about the hip-hop game than anybody else I know. And, whether you think that's true, Ray, or not, I'll leave that up to you. But if I'm in the car with Ray, he'll put on, like, some new shit that I've never heard before. It'll be, like, some SoundCloud rapper.
All the time.
All the time. How deep do you get into this stuff?
I mean, like, to be honest, like, I love the fact that there's a SoundCloud app now. There's Spotify. There's Google Play Music. There's Apple Music. Like, there's all these other things. Like, what they do is they use, like, algorithms
Right.
in their apps and their programs. Like, if you make a playlist, right, with, like, certain songs in it by certain artists, like, with their genres and all that crazy stuff, the app will actually give you recommendations on who they think you should listen to. And once you do that, like, you're just dumping so much, like, new music into your library.
Yeah.
So by doing that, like, you can find other rappers or other artists that have the same kind of style that you like listening to. So it gives you a bigger spectrum of, like, oh, who am I going to listen to today? Like, you have one guy at the top, and then you can just trickle down to, like, a whole tree of, like, other artists and rappers. I mean, it's honestly, it's fucking awesome.
So who's a SoundCloud rapper or an up and coming rapper that nobody's heard of but you, that you think is fucking dope and could be something
that nobody's heard of? I mean,
or that's not well known.
I'm trying to think. Probably there's this guy that I found a couple years ago on Twitter. Actually, his name is Manny Coolin.
Manny Coolin. I think you showed me him.
I think I did too.
At one point, yeah.
His name is Manny Coolin, and he's got songs with you know who Kaz is, right?
Who?
Kaz.
Nope.
He's from J. Cole. He's from Dreamville.
Oh no, sorry.
So I mean, he's got a song with him. I mean, he's dropping a new album soon. He's from L.A.
What's his name? Manny Ka?
Manny Coolin.
Manny Coolin.
Yeah.
With a K?
ManiCoolin. Manny Coolin. I mean, he hasn't really been putting out, like, new shit lately, but I would say he's definitely one of the ones I see.
Oh, true. I'm looking at him right now. Dude, he looks like an LA rapper for sure.
Yeah. And he's just one of many that I mean, let me see right now. There's a lot of music in my SoundCloud.
I can only imagine.
I mean, I made my SoundCloud, I'm trying to think, probably like right after senior year of high school. So I've had it for a long time. And, like, going through, like, listening, like, putting all my likes on shuffle, it just feels like I'm going, like, through time. It's crazy.
I love how music can do that for you.
You know, me too. Because, like, I mean, I love music so much. Like, when I was in fifth grade, actually, when I was in fourth grade, I started the school band, right?
Yep.
And when I was in third grade, they asked, like, what instruments do you want to play?
Right.
And the first instrument, I mean, like everybody else, was drums. Everybody wanted to play the drums. Everybody wanted to just, like, beat the shit out of the drums and, like, have a good time, whatever. So I picked the drums first, and then my second instrument was the clarinet. And, yo, in fourth grade, the entire year, I played the fucking clarinet, bro.
Do you remember any notes from the clarinet?
I really don't. I mean, I remember some of the songs we played, like the Christmas songs, like for the concerts and whatever. But after fourth grade, I talked to the teacher. I was like, I hate this. Like, I don't want to play clarinet anymore. Like, can I please play the drums? And he was like, all right, sure. We'll see what you can do. And then if you do a good job, we'll put you on the line or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I stayed after band class one day with like all the drummers, and he showed me like music to play, and I did pretty good. Then after that, I went home. I was like, Mom, I want to learn how to play the drums. So then I started going to lessons every week. It was just crazy. Like the teacher I had, he was an ex drummer in like a really good band. So I would go over his house all the time, and he would just teach me. Like he was like one of the biggest influence of music in my life.
Who was this?
His name was Nick Mangini. He was a drummer in a band. I don't remember the name of the band because it was such a long time ago.
Right.
But I would go over his house, bro. His house was sick. Like he had a basketball court in his backyard, like batting cages, like a giant Olympic-sized pool. You just walk into this like small room he has in his house. He's got one big drum set like set up in the corner, and like his drum set on the other corner.
Right.
He would let all of his students play on the big set. And what he would do is he would let us like go home, like burn a CD of like all the songs we wanted to learn.
Yeah.
And bring them into him. And what he would do, bro, like this is the craziest thing. He would listen to the song like in front of you, and he would write the music. Like he would listen to it and just write out the notes and like the music, and then give it to you to read and teach you how to play it. So I just thought that was like the coolest thing. Like I still have
guru shit is that?
I still have my book of like all the stuff he wrote, and like he wrote like entire songs out, like all the drum notes and everything.
Yeah.
Like it was just crazy. But then after I think it was like 7 or 8 years of doing that, I actually did a couple concerts and stuff like that with all of his students. Like he invited all the families out to like perform basically a song that he taught us, and that transferred into my love of like. I mean, I used to love like rock and roll music and shit like that, but now
I want you to know that I literally remember everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I remember you doing the concerts. I remember me and you play. I play guitar. We play drums. We would jam all the time. Yep.
I even tried to play the guitar too.
I remember. I fucking have photos of all this shit, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll have to send them your way if you want to go down memory lane. Throwback Thursday for you tomorrow. Or sorry, today's Tuesday. So
today's Tuesday.
2 days.
But no, but today like I just love like having music. Having music is part of my life. Like if I couldn't listen to music, like I don't know what I would do. Like, I can't listen to music in the gym. Like that would destroy me. Can't listen to music while I'm driving. Like I don't know what I would do. I need to have music in my life.
Well, you know what you could do?
What?
Listen to the Prism Podcast. Self plug. I remember you being. First of all, you're a badass fucking drummer, which you already know, and you probably still are. It's like riding a bike. And you know, you would shred fucking face, and I would come over with my guitar, and we would play like fucking "Run to the Hills" by Iron Maiden, you know, or like some other crazy shit. You know what I mean? Your progression in music has been interesting because me and you were huge rock and roll guys. Probably still are. Like, who's your favorite band of all time?
Oh, Led Zeppelin.
Zeppelin, yeah, I love Zeppelin. My favorite band's the Beatles, but I love Zeppelin. It's like a
Led Zeppelin or The Who.
The Who's good too.
Yeah, but that's all because of my dad. Like my dad listens to that music, so I would always like be in the car with him, and he would play that shit, and I would just like, what song is this, and just add it to a playlist. Or add it to a CD, not even a playlist.
What's it? Yeah, back then it's like, what's a playlist? I'll make a mixtape. I'll make a mix CD and give it to my crush.
But nowadays, like, I mean, I wouldn't say I don't like rock and roll. Like, I still like the old school rock and shit like that. Like, now I strictly just listen to hip hop, like just straight hip hop all the time. Like whether it be like old school, new school, underground shit, like. Or even like rap songs you would hear in like a club or something like that. Like as long as it has like meaning behind it, a dope beat, and and just not like somebody speaking gibberish over some like crazy fucking drums. Like I will listen to it.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do without music either, dude, to be honest with you. It's like, it's not only like nostalgic in the sense that it brings you back to certain times, because I do have songs that I could listen to and I go back to a certain moment in time, you know. But
100%.
if I didn't have music, like you're musically inclined, right? Like trained. I'm musically inclined, trained, right? That shit's in our blood. I remember you and I like growing up in middle school and high school, listening to like we played fucking Guitar Hero and Rock Band and all that shit. That almost inspired me to want to play guitar, which it actually did. But we would rock out to like Boston, like AC/DC, who else? Like Van Halen. I remember you and I used to go pretty hard with.
Yeah.
So all these different things that kind of make up your persona, you know, and fast forward to today with your hip hop, all those roots are still there, right?
Yeah.
You know, and now it's just kind of manifested into something else.
Yeah.
You know, but like you can still hop on that drum set and probably kill it, right? You can still like sing out the verse to the Immigrant Song, right? You just take all these things that are about you and you just move forward, and you, as you progress, you take all the things that you've learned and put them to that new thing.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. Because nowadays, I mean, I just love hearing new rappers and like new, like, I wouldn't say like new songs. Like I like listening to like an artist's full catalog. Like I listen, like if I find a new person to listen to, like I will go like through all their albums, and like even if the albums are from like 2011, 2010, like I want to hear like their progression and like how they've gotten better or like what they used to do better. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how I listen to music. Like I listen to music by album, unless I'm just like, you know, like just shuffling through my library.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for music, I listen to music by an album.
You know who's a good person for that? Which you already know, but Kendrick, man.
Yeah.
His album progression, you know, going, I don't know, was his first album like Section 80 or what was his?
Section 80, then it was Good Kid, Mad. I mean, Section 80 was a mixtape. But
was Good Kid his first studio album?
Yeah.
Yeah, his progression's insane. His storytelling abilities.
And then Damn. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of To Pimp a Butterfly, but Damn is definitely going to be the album of this year.
Damn, it definitely is. I love that shit. I think I like To Pimp a Butterfly a lot. I think To Pimp a Butterfly. Well, with that, he was doing a lot of things. Like he was showcasing black artists, right?
Yeah, it was
all like, it was totally different. But like the story of it was really good. But Damn, dude. Damn is on another fucking level. Like, he's progressed so amazingly. You know, his storytelling ability just gets deeper and richer. His production gets better and better. You know, and I just don't see... And you have guys like Kanye. Kanye, to me, is like a guy that's born to make music.
Yeah.
You know? And he's so wrapped up in, like, this whole... Oh, I hate the Kardashians so much.
That's why, man. That's 100% why. Because
this motherfucker is a creator, and I haven't seen him create shit besides T-Lop, which is awesome. But he's just born to make music, dude. He really is. And there's things that's happened to him that have been unfortunate.
Life of Pablo was amazing. I mean, I remember when that shit came out, and everybody was going crazy over that.
What's your favorite album off of that? Or favorite song off the album? Excuse me.
Oh my god, I don't even think I can name one.
It's tough.
They're just all like. They're all different, but they're all so good. Like, I gotta say, I don't even know, man.
It's tough because it's a schizophrenic album. Now, no song is the same. He's kind of like all over the place, and that was the idea, was to be kind of like an abstract piece of artwork.
Yeah, I mean, you got songs like 30 Hours.
Yeah.
The song with Rihanna.
Famous.
What's
that
that
shit,
one?
famous.
Famous.
That shit goes hard. When I first heard that beat, I was like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, man. That's fucking Swizz Beatz right there.
Is it? He produced that?
Yeah, Swizz Beatz, the legend.
That's dope. That guy is dope. And he's married to Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Which is double dope.
Hell yeah.
What was I about to say? Oh, we were just talking about songs that take you back to a certain time and place.
Yeah.
So Waves.
Oh yeah,
Waves.
100%.
Yeah.
That's
So
the songs.
Waves takes me back. And this is what I like about music. I'll probably like hop on the subway and like play one of these songs because it just reminds me of like good moments that I've had. So like Waves, for
Yeah.
example, reminds me of like my road trip to Colorado senior year. Right, the song came up just as we entered Colorado, and like you see the Rocky Mountains and like
Yeah.
there's plains to the sides of you, like it's farmland, but you see the Rockies in the background.
Yeah.
And like we went over this like little ridge, and it was like turn it up, bend it, and this we're going down into Colorado. I love it. I love that shit. I don't know what I would do without music, and like
Yeah.
you can totally agree with that as well. And as far as
Yeah.
hip hop goes, since you're so knowledgeable with hip hop, both
I mean,
past, present, future.
going back on that, I'll never forget. Like, when we were going to the city one time, and I think it was like me, Ray Dan, and Tim in the car. We were going to, I think we were going to like the Giants parade or something like that, or we were just going to visit the city. When we were pulling into the city, like we saw like all the like the buildings and shit, like, and then I told Ray to put on Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z.
Nice.
And every time I hear that song now, I just think of that moment, like that I live in New York, like that the city is only an hour away from me.
Right.
I mean, you're there right now, so.
Yep, that's true. The city defines me, dude. Like in that era. You remember when that came out? It was like freshman, sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
Run This Town came out.
Yeah, that album was just crazy.
All these songs, like it takes me back to that time, a much simpler time.
Did you listen to Jay-Z's new album at all?
I don't have fucking Tidal, so.
Well, it's on Apple Music now, I think. And
I don't have Apple Music. Is it on
it's
Spotify?
also no, it is not on Spotify.
These fuckers.
I have Google Play Music, and it's on Google Play Music. And I'm not gonna lie, like I actually listened to it like through for the first time yesterday, and honestly, like Jay-Z is one of the greatest to ever touch a mic. Don't get me wrong. I like the older Jay-Z better.
So here's a good question for you. Since I was like alluding to earlier, rap very well past, present, and future. On the Mount Rushmore of hip hop, who do you put up there? You got 4 people that you can put up there.
Wow, this is really hard. Definitely Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G. Is up there because he just like changed everything. Like he was just a regular kid, but he took himself and became one of the greatest rappers ever.
Right.
I think he has the best flow, like out of anybody, and that's saying a lot. But Biggie is my favorite rapper, so he's got to go up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as much as I don't listen to him that much, I got to put Tupac up there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Biggie's up there, Tupac's got to be up there because they both changed hip hop. They both changed like the East Coast, West Coast like idea of music. Because like it's crazy to me how like they became boys and then they just went complete opposites. But
it's true, man.
Yeah, so it would be those two. Man, I would probably.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to say. I would put like Kanye up because he's like my favorite my favorite artist of all time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would probably like maybe even Dr. Dre.
Really?
Yeah, I think I would put him up there. Not for like the idea of like his rapping and like just like
what he's done for
yeah
rap. That's
he's
fair.
Like
we can do that. Yeah.
The first person in music to be a billionaire like was Dr. Dre. Like what he's done like with his Beats headphones, like sold them to Apple.
Yeah.
All that shit. Like I feel like he deserves to be up there. Definitely. Like with NWA, like it's just crazy. And he even dropped like a dope album. I forgot what year it was. I think it was either last year or 2 years ago. called Compton, which I still listen to.
I haven't heard it.
No, it's an awesome album.
It's good.
Yeah, it's one of those albums that aren't on Spotify. So
I feel like every good album's on Spotify.
it kind of sucks. But yo, if you get Google Play Music, I mean, you get a free YouTube Red subscription. Side note, but the fourth on my Mount Rushmore. Oh, this one's tough because I'm trying not to use like rappers that are around now.
You can. I will not judge you. Only the listeners will judge you.
I mean, it's just so hard for me because it's like a tie between like 20 different people.
All right, give a tie of 3 people.
A tie of 3 people. I mean, I got to put Drake in one of those. Yeah,
that's a hot take.
I would say Drake, J. Cole, and probably Kendrick.
On the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because if you think like, I mean, are we just talking about like the old school rap, or are we talking?
We're talking everybody. This is the
everybody?
This is the Mount Rushmore.
Well, with the 3 I already gave, I feel like I should pick like an old school rapper for my 4th. Oh my god. Man.
You put Nas up there?
It's like I was thinking about Nas, but then I was like, what about Big L? What about Mobb Deep? What about Prodigy? Like it's just crazy.
Right.
I mean, now that you say it, I think I would put Nas up there, but it's a tie between Nas and probably Big L. Because Big L is the best with the punchlines, bro.
I never heard any of Big L stuff.
Man, you need to get on that.
I think I've like when people ask me my Mount Rushmore, I don't know much. I know enough. I'm a huge like Kanye fan. It's like my guy.
Because
I'll be like, yeah, Jay-Z, Tupac, Big L.
The amount of song, like the amount of artists I know, like past and present, that's such a tough question.
Well, let me give you a layup of a question. Who are some rappers today that you hate?
That I hate?
Man. That we talked about this like in our prep. Like rappers that we hate today.
Let's get it.
Dude, that kid needs to go away.
I cannot stand Lil Pump. Anyone that has Lil in front of their name that just came about in the past year or a year and a half, I might say.
Yeah.
I do not like.
There's like Lil Perp.
Lil Perp.
Lil like Smoke, like some crazy shit. Like Lil like Tech 69. Have you seen that fucking clown?
Oh, dude. The guy with the rainbow hair.
The guy with the rainbow hair. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I really don't.
Like,
it's amazing. Social media has given these guys the opportunity to get big.
The one I hate the most is XX Temptation, whatever the fuck his name is.
Okay, so here's where I diverge from that. I think his album that just came out is awesome.
I won't even bother to listen to it, bro.
Dude, it's actually pretty good. I'd give it a chance. Even Kendrick tweeted about it. When does Kendrick tweet about anything?
I mean, if Kendrick's tweeting about it, then maybe...
Give it a listen, dude. If Kendrick didn't say listen to it, I would have been like, yeah, fuck this guy.
I don't know. It's just crazy how you see on fucking, like sports commercials or, like when they're trying to hype you up for, like, a game or something, they're fucking playing Gucci Gang in the background. Like, by Lil Pump.
That's what's hot, dude. You have these fucking, like...
It's just so annoying. Like
social media.
You could pick from anybody else, any other rapper, like...
I don't know how these guys, like, get big. There's clearly not an emphasis today on talent. It's more about the brand.
Do you know, what about Lil Xan? Have you heard of Lil Xan?
I hate him. I've never even seen him, like, but I hate him already.
Yo,
this whole Xanny culture is out of control.
Have you watched the show Shameless at all?
No.
No? Okay, so I can't make that comparison.
Is he on the show?
No, he looks exactly like somebody on the show, though.
Let me look this This fucking and how is like Manny Coolin not more famous than fucking Lil Xan?
I don't know, dude, but look up a picture of Carl Gallagher from Shameless.
Carl Gallagher?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the first thing I typed in was Carl Gallagher, then Lil Xan came up.
Bro.
Oh shit.
They look so much alike.
Dude, fuck. How old is Lil Xan? Like, who is this guy?
He's probably like 17 or 18.
Let's find out. Let's
maybe 16. Even 16. He's just another SoundCloud rapper.
21.
He's 21?
He's 21.
Wow, I did not know that. But still, I haven't heard one song. I've heard like a snippet of a song on Instagram, I think. And I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? Like, I can't believe people are like this are getting famous.
Why the fuck are people like this getting famous? What's the attraction to it? Like, what, seriously, is it because they have fucking Cheeto hair? Like, is it because they talk about, like, doing lines of blow and, like, mumbling all their verses?
Yeah. It's just, like, people are embracing it as, like, what new school rap is becoming and, like, not even caring about what they're saying. As long as they have fire beats and have somewhat of a flow, like that, nobody cares anymore. Unless you're like a true hip hop, like I wouldn't say like mogul, but like hip hop head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say that Kendrick and J. Cole are light years ahead of everybody in terms of storytelling. To me, rap is storytelling. Like, that's how it initially started out. You know, like you're telling a story about something. And what these guys can do with their projects, right? Like J. Cole, For Your Eyes Only, making it into, you know, this amazing story. Kendrick Lamar with Damn, making it a story that has two endings.
Yeah.
Right? And it goes backwards and goes forwards. Right? Fucking Lil Pump, like, he has one song called The Gucci Gang. He has another song called Pop the Zan. Like, it's awful. And it's not good for kids either.
No.
And I'm not saying that rappers should be, like, role models. But
you know,
you have real artistry with some of these rappers that don't get any of the credit. And you have guys like fucking Lil Pump, who's like smoking weed in hotel lobbies and shit, like, you know, which he can do him. But at the end of the day, like, you're on Instagram, you have millions of followers, like, maybe you should hold yourself accountable, you know. But these kids are so caught up in this fucking game that they just keep putting out all this dumb shit.
Yeah, especially with all like the face tattoos, like. Bro, it's got to stop. Like it's probably not going to stop because it's what's trending.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop for a while. I don't think. But we got people like, I don't know if you've ever seen this guy on Instagram. His Instagram is Boonk Gang. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, dude, I just got so mad when you said that.
Bro,
whole lot of gang shit.
Dude, I have no idea why Worldstar like
puts him on so hard.
It feels like they need to post him almost every day, like, and he's just doing something stupid. Like the other day, he threw up like I'm gonna say like $201 bills in the air in the middle of a Target, and then jumped on a Christmas tree that was like all decorated and shit.
I saw
and that. It completely destroyed like the entire like scene. And then was just walking out like a fucking asshole with like his pants around his knees, like just like being somebody that makes a lot of people hate our generation.
Yeah, for real. And it's almost like hate is a driving force of like content. Like people like go on and be like, yo, fuck Lil Boonk, but like Worldstar is gonna see all the views that they get and all the comments that they get, like, okay, we need to put this guy on more. Or like, oh, here's a video of Lil Pump getting kicked out of his hotel room. Like, we need to put this shit on. You know, it's like, It's like these outlets have latched on to like these guys who are just doing crazy shit on social media. They're not even like rappers. Like Lil Boonk is a rapper, right? Like that's what his like thing is. But
he came up from Instagram, like doing pranks and stuff.
I thought he was a rapper. I thought he was like a rapper turned prankster.
He has, I don't know, to be honest, like, but I know he definitely tries to rap. I wouldn't say he's a rapper. He tries to rap.
You couldn't pay me to listen to one of his mixtapes.
No.
You couldn't pay me. Same with Lil Pump with these guys. Like seriously, it gets me annoyed because like.
But the good thing about like, I mean, I wouldn't say the good thing about having like those fucking assholes around. We still have like a bunch of artists that are just like coming into things. Like we still have Logic, we still have Joey Badass, we still have like all these other rappers that are just coming up and just like changing a lot.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I have a lot of faith in that. Logic is a guy. Logic made my 2017, and I'll tell you why.
He is just like an awesome person, bro. Like I
Awesome
wish I
guy.
could meet. I want to meet Logic so bad.
He's an inspiration, dude. Like, you know, you listen. Everybody is a great album. I didn't like it at first, but I think the mission and the purpose of it is more important than the actual music itself.
Yeah, like
So
if you
like,
followed Logic like from the beginning or like somewhat from the beginning, like and you watch like his interviews and like what he's talked about, he says before that album came out, I'm talking about Everybody, that he's speaking from not his perspective, and it's the first time he's ever doing that. He's speaking
right.
like other people's perspectives. He's not rapping from his.
Yeah, every single song was like a different person's perspective.
Yeah,
It's crazy. And that like he going back to like the whole nostalgia thing, like when I moved to Washington this summer, like all I did like from February to June when I moved was listen to Everybody, like on the train. Right? And when I drove down to Washington, like what was the album that I first played? Like it was Everybody. You know?
yeah.
It's these certain like songs put you in a certain state of mind.
I saw an interview he was doing like the other day. He said people come up to him all the time and say like, "Yo, like you've like influenced me. Like you're a huge inspiration. Like you changed my life." Like, and he said himself like, "I wasn't even trying to do those things. I wasn't even trying." Like, imagine what he could do like if he actually tried to like influence people and inspire people. Which is why I feel like his performance at the VMAs this year like really helped him like skyrocket when it comes to the music industry
Oh,
because
100%.
now that song is triple platinum, and
Is it really?
he's nominated for 2 Grammys for that song
He's
for the video and like the overall song.
it's relevant. It's super
Yeah,
relevant, you know, and like there's a like the whole mental health stigma in this country is insane. There's not I'm not going to get political, but there's a lot of things that aren't being allocated towards that, and that's kind of
yeah,
a 10-point issue. But with Logic, you know, that's when you know it's real, dude. When he's not trying to inspire, but he inspires. That's when you know he's an artist.
100%.
Like it's not fake, it's not phony. Like, oh, I need to inspire the masses. Let me create like this album. No, he just wants to tell a story.
Exactly. And that's a person who has like cooked crack on a stove before. He
Yeah,
has lived in a house full of violence and like been around like the gang shit and like all like that crazy stuff that like a lot of us can't even like imagine. But
yeah.
he's been through all of that and he made something of it and became like an unbelievable talented rapper.
It's amazing how, cause what he's told, like the stories he's told on that album. It's amazing that he's turned out how he's turned out.
Bro, I don't know if you've definitely heard it. Like the last song on that album, when J. Cole comes in.
Yeah,
Have you heard that?
yeah,
I don't know if you watched like the interview when
I
J. Cole
did. Yeah,
did that. Like
yeah.
that's just unbelievable how that was just like a voice recording on his phone that he sent to Logic.
It's amazing, and like those, and J. Cole's another guy that I love. Like 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
Bro,
That was like the album that I listened to driving to and from
double
Florida.
double platinum with no features. Like that
Deserves
is
it. Fucking amazing.
insane.
I mean, I
It's
remember sitting in your
I
car.
can't.
I remember like sitting in your car, like in my driveway, fucking when that shit first came out. Like,
Yeah,
wow, this is like Wet Dreams. Oh my god, like I fucking remember the same thing happened to me too. The best kind of music is the shit that you can relate to, man. You can't fucking nobody who can relate to like Gucci Gang, like. My bitch doesn't. I don't have a. First of all, I don't have a girlfriend, so my bitch does not love to do cocaine. Number one, and number two, I'm not walking into the Gucci store anytime soon unless you know I
exactly.
get an investor on this podcast. But but the thing about stories, and the thing I really want to do with this podcast as well, so we're on the second episode, I can talk about it for a second. Telling these stories, right? These
Yeah.
rappers and artists in general, the ones that can tell the best stories that can really touch a person are the ones that have the most success. You're not going to be hearing about Lil Pump, I don't think, like long term, right? But guys like J. Cole are going to be around forever. Guys like Kanye are going to be around forever. Guys like Tupac and Jay-Z, like Logic, like these new school rappers that tell these stories and put their heart and soul into that craft. Not just the production, not just the ad-libs, right? Like, fuck guys like the Migos, even though the Migos are awesome, but they're no, like, Logic.
Yeah.
You know? That's just how I feel about that.
Don't get me wrong. Like I like listening to Migos.
Me too.
But it's different. Like that's the shit I'll listen to like before I'm going out. Like if I'm pre-gaming with my friends, or like we're all in the car, like on the way to the bar or whatever, like trying to get hype. Like or I'm in the gym, like listening to that, like trying to get pumped up. Like, but if I'm like chilling, like just like driving, whatever it may be, like I love listening to like just straight hip hop, like that shit that you can like actually like listen to and like relate to, and just it all comes full circle. You're not just you're actually, because like my theory, like I've been saying this for a while, like like a lot of people they play the radio, they play like the popular music, like they're hearing it, and they're liking it, but they're not listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not breaking shit down and like understanding what the rapper, like artist, is trying to portray through their music. They're just saying, oh, like this is dope. Like you hear this beat right now, this drop or whatever. Like they're not even listening to what that rapper has to say.
100%. And the thing about analyzing the lyrics and stuff like that is you get to kind of see where the artist snuck in something sneaky, like a double entendre. You really, you really kind of get to see the work that they put into it. So, with guys like Lil Pump or any of these other, Instagram rappers or, what have you, you can't really go into Rap Genius and see how deep they get. Like, there's none of that shit. If you go on, Rap Genius and you look at Damn, right? You look at the songs that were on Damn. You could spend hours upon hours on Rap Genius deciphering the lyrics that Kendrick put out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And to me that's like one of the funnest parts of rap, is getting to decipher those songs. Like listening to something as complex as Fear on Damn, right? You have all this complex shit going on, and you don't know what's what. You have the opportunity to go back and kind of truly appreciate the artwork, which in turn makes you into a better listener and a more educated, rap fan. Not any of this just like good beat, like club shit,
Yeah. And I like when I'm able to do that, because sometimes, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what they're trying to say. So I want to know what they're trying to say. So I'll go to Rap Genius, or I'll go. It's cool, like on Spotify sometimes they'll have like Rap Genius already built onto the song. So if like you have your phone, like you're looking at your phone while you're listening to the song, it'll actually show you the lyrics and like give you a little bit of a insight of what the lyrics mean.
Yeah, for sure. You don't get that. You don't really get that with the Lil Pumps. You can kind of figure out what Gucci Gang is, all on your own. And it's unfortunate that I even know how many times he says it. And I know like spent new racks on new chains. My bitch love to do cocaine. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I can't believe I know that. Like I'm annoyed that I know that. And that's when you know it's worked. That's when you know the whole branding of this whole Instagram thing and pushing out shit. That's when you know it worked. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here talking shit about it, but I can recite the guy's entire song. It's like, does that make me the bad music fan, or do I blame society?
I think society can take the blame on that one.
You ever see The Office?
Yeah.
So, do you remember that episode where I'm a huge for everybody that knows me, I'm a huge Office fan. I can almost name, if you give me a scene that happens, I can name the season and the episode number that it happened. It's really crazy. But anyway, I don't know, Michael Scott was talking about something, and Jim was like, shouldn't you not be saying that? And, oh, I blame society. And he's like, what does society have to do with it? It's like, society made me this way. It's like funny shit like that. It's funny shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know you're, we've been talking all this time, Ray, about rap, about our favorite things about rap, ranging from favorite artists to your musical background, us playing guitar and drums together, jamming out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put you too much on the spot here, but I'm going to do it a little bit. Ray is a very good rapper and songwriter. And I know Ray has, he uses his phone for his music notes primarily, but he's a millennial, he can do that. He has a ton of shit that he's rapped, that he's wrote. You make beats as well with whatever program that you have there. I've seen Snapchats of it. And
the making beats is like something I just started to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing it for fun. Like I'm not gonna like try to put my beats out there for people to buy yet.
Yeah.
But definitely like I forget when it was. It was definitely earlier this year, like March or April. I just decided to say like fuck it. I'm gonna go to Guitar Center and buy like a MIDI keyboard and like a microphone.
Yeah.
And it's just actually like sit down and try to do this. Like the microphone I bought was way too expensive and didn't do what I wanted it to do, so I returned it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely gonna get another one soon. But going back to what you said about like writing my music and like rapping, it's just something. It's honestly it's crazy to me to think about like that I actually started to do that, because never in a million years when I was like younger did I think like I was gonna start writing raps and like rapping them to my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy because like the first rap I ever like decided to write was about my like something that happened to me my freshman year of college.
Right.
When I went to Quinnipiac for 1 year. That was probably one of the craziest years of my life, hands down, and will be. But yeah, I was just sitting in class one day after, because I never went back to Quinnipiac. I just I didn't really know what I wanted to do yet, so it wasn't worth the $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was just sitting in class one day, just like not really paying attention. It was just like a morning class. I was just bored.
Yeah.
So I started writing something in my notebook, and I filled out like 2 full pages, and then I read it back to myself when I got in my car to drive home, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I mean, now if I looked at it now, I would be like, holy shit, like that fucking sucks. Like that's horrible. But I that day I looked at it and I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like I want to put a beat on and like rap to it. And that's what I did. And then once I got that feeling like, holy shit, like I could probably do this, I just started writing more and more and just got better at it. It's just like anything else you do in life. Like if you're interested in something, you like doing it, and you just put more time into it, you get a lot better at it.
Amen, brother. Amen. That's like literally the entire reason why I created this podcast.
Yeah.
I have shit to say. As before
Yeah.
this podcast, I've always had shit to say, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
But this is something that is mine, and that's cool. It's my little thing, and you're working on rap. And
that's
let me
awesome.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. Let me take that a step further, Mr. D'Onofrio. Do you want to drop a verse?
I appreciate the offer.
He's gonna rescind. No, I tried, people. Don't tell me I didn't try. I tried to slip it in there. We're all waiting for the day, Ray.
It was pretty good. I mean, one day you will hear a song that I made.
One day we're gonna hear it, and we're not gonna be talking about Lil Pump.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
no. I mean, just like I remember, I think it was the first summer after high school, you had a killer party at your house.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh my God,
I just
probably.
remember standing in your driveway with like a bunch of our friends and like people from Brewster,
Hmm.
um, just surrounding me while I'm like rapping stuff off the top of my head that I memorized from my phone. Like
Right.
that was just awesome. And then after I did that, like I realized like wow, like a lot of people don't think I'm whack or something like that. I don't want to feel like cocky or anything. Just like I can't think of a lot of people that I mean, to be honest with you, I think nobody has told me they don't like hearing me rap or like think that I'm bad. Like that's not being cocky at all. I feel like I'm just proud of myself.
Well, it's good. I mean, look, you need those
Yeah,
things. You need those positive reinforcements. Like
yeah,
the thing with life and learning new things is that you're not going to be great at it, right, initially, but
exactly.
it's the people that give you praise along the way that keep you motivated in
Yeah,
anything, you
and that's
know.
why I feel like I need to take like the next step before I really start putting my stuff out there because the first time somebody turns on a song and they hear me
Mm,
in like a verse or whatever it may be, like a full song or like just like a feature, as soon as they hear my voice, like that's my first impression. Like that's all I'm gonna get.
yeah.
If I make a bad first impression, like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh fuck that!" Like if that's what he sounds like, I'm not gonna listen to him.
Well, do
But
you
if
think
I'm,
you'll like make some shit? Like, do you think you're on the come up in terms of making a song and releasing stuff?
I mean, I definitely need to invest more time and money into it because
Yeah.
like I do have a whole bunch of other shit like going on like with work. It's kind of hard to like balance my schedule, and I'm like going back to school this semester, and
Mm,
I mean it's definitely gonna come full circle eventually because once I move on to the next chapter in like my school career,
uh,
I will. I'm planning on changing my major to like music management or music production.
uh,
Um, so I'm definitely gonna like get more well educated in the aspects of music and
yeah.
like making music. But like rapping is just like completely different than like learning. It's just, you could teach yourself how to rap like so you don't have to go to school to learn how to rap. Like you can just by listening to other rappers. I'm basically just like taking different styles from a whole bunch of others
Right.
and just making it your own. I feel like anybody can do it if they put their mind to it. But the bigger thing is like if you can write music, you will be twice as successful because if you can write your own music, then everything is original, everything is organic.
Mm,
It comes from within. You know what I mean? Like it's not somebody writing something and handing it to you. Be like, okay, rap this way over this beat on whatever. You know what I
yeah.
mean? For
Yeah.
this long. If you're doing it all yourself, you know, like just like Russ. Russ is a perfect example for this. Like Russ has done it by himself since the beginning. Like he makes, masters, produces, engineers, like all of his music by himself. Like
Right.
writes it, everything. So I feel like I want to be something like that. Like I don't want to have someone tell me like how I should like make my song or like make it a certain way. I want it to make it my way, which I feel like that's why I haven't really put out anything. I want to be able to put out stuff that I know will get immediate positive feedback and positive growing.
Well, I know you have the talent to do it. That's the
I really, I mean, I really appreciate
and
that,
you
man.
know it. And
Like,
that's the thing. You need to know what you're good at, right? In order for you to have success, you need to be like, okay, this is what I'm good at. How can I build upon this? How could I improve it? How could I make others enjoy it? You know, and you have the music background, right? It's in your blood, dude. You know, I think if you just make that song, dude, release it and see what happens. You don't know what could happen. I mean, the thing with it sucks because like with this podcast, I can tell you like I have the SoundCloud page. It's like I have 50 views or whatever. But the thing is, if you're good, right, people are gonna know it. And with you, like that's the case. It's just a matter of time. I feel like you really have control of the situation. Like you can create your own success here because you have the writing ability. You wrote so many songs that, from what I can tell, right, you have the interest in creating the beats. And now it's just time to put the recipe together
exactly.
and debut Ray J.
Like everything is in the pot, like ready to go. I just gotta cook it. You know what I mean?
Like
Like
James Harden.
all the all the ingredients are there. It's just missing some cook action.
You know what's funny, dude? We're talking about cooking. I know what we were, and I think this is something good to like wrap it up because
Yeah.
this is something that is near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
Me especially, and I know you can make a mean one. The
Yeah.
bacon, egg, and cheese on a plain bagel. I'm sorry this comes out of left field, people, but it really isn't if you know, like us, because this honestly is what we think about all the time. It's like, bacon, egg, cheese, bacon, egg, cheese, bacon, egg, cheese, in the back of our heads and shit.
Yeah. Like it's always a moment of any night that we chill or hang out or go out or get drunk or whatever it may be. Like,
Yeah.
it's always like, all right, what the fuck are we eating?
How far is Cameron's?
Like,
How far is it? I don't care how much it costs to get there. We're going.
like somebody's ordering cameras on their phones, and like one person's in the background, like, no, I want two bacon, egg, and cheeses. Like,
Yo, let me get 6 clucking Russians. No seeds on the wedges. What's the perfect bacon, egg, and cheese in your eyes? What's needed to have the perfect bacon, egg, and cheese?
man, it cannot be all bread. It's got to have a lot of eggs.
It's got to have that bacon, egg, and cheese.
Got to have a lot of eggs.
Okay.
I mean,
What kind of eggs are we talking here, though? Like, what way are you making the egg?
sunny side up.
So, a little yolk?
A little bit of yolk.
Have some yolk action?
Yolky
Something I can get behind.
Yolky doke.
Oh my god! I think we created our signature bacon, egg, and cheese name, the Yoki Doki.
Yo. Nobody fucking steal that. That's ours.
Yeah, if anybody does, we're coming after your ass.
Yeah.
We'll know who it is
You
too.
will not like that. Because, yeah, you will.
What does your bacon look like? What's your bacon situation looking like?
It's got to be crunchy, but not too crispy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it can't be too hard, too crunchy. Like, it's got to have some kind of, like, chew to it. You know what I mean?
You gotta have some
Yeah.
You can't just like bite it and it's like glass. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And
It's gotta blend with the egg, and it's gotta blend with the cheese.
the cheese has to be melted.
The
It
cheese-
cannot be. It has to be.
Yeah, it's not fucking Dunkin' Donuts, all right, where you're
Yeah.
given a fucking cheese slice.
Fucking American's Choice, like, slab of cheese that they just unwrapped.
No, you need, and listen,
You need some fucking string cheese, like real cheese on that bitch. Like, you cannot put America's Choice slice of cheese on my bacon, egg, and cheese. I will throw it right back at your face.
good day, sir. Take your damn cheese.
And it either has to be on a wedge or an everything bagel. Those are the only two things.
I'm glad you said that. Because let me give you my ideal bacon, egg, and cheese.
The ideal bacon.
It's gonna get real sexy up in here, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're ready for it. We're gonna have, starting at the bottom, we're gonna have a nice, soft, warm, but not out of control, everything bagel base. And what I say by not out of control, you don't want it to be too crunchy, but you don't want it to get soggy as well. You need to have that perfect mix, right? That's the base. All right, we got number one. Number two. 2 eggs. You give me one, I send it back. I couldn't even say that without laughing. Shout out to The Office. You give me one, I send it back. 2, right? Have 2, well, here's the thing. This is where it gets kind of out of control. Do you have 2 runny yolks? Or do you make one that's a little more runny than the other? I don't know. I'll leave it up to the individual. But I don't need too much yolk. I can live without yolk, but it's good, but I don't want to get too messy. The cheese. As soon as you're finished making the eggs, plop a slice of cheese on there. Let that bitch melt. Let it become part of the egg. Let them work in tandem in your favor. The bacon, crispy, crunchy, delicious, decadent. Say no more. We're moving on. Salt, pepper. One pinch. At the top. It's coming back around with that everything bagel, ladies and gentlemen. Slap that bitch on right there. Cut it in half. tinfoil it, throw it on my face. I'll eat it before it fucking lands. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how passionate I am about the bacon, egg, and cheese. Because it's a New York thing, dude. I went down to Florida, and they're like, a bacon, egg, and cheese? When are you listening to grocery store items? Like, fuck you. Bacon, egg, and cheese is a classic New York sandwich, and everybody 100%. Up here relates. The Beck.
And I will say, yeah, the Beck is legendary when you come to our parts.
Oh, it's more than legendary. It's a person.
It is the legend.
It's my life. If I could just have bacon, egg,
I would say, in our area, the best bacon, egg, and cheese comes from the Superette.
Another hot take. I don't go to Superette a lot because Cameron's is right there.
The only time I have gone to Superette for bacon, egg, and cheese, it was after a night at either your house or Dan's house. And it's like anywhere between 5 and 10 a.m.
Okay. That's a okay.
So all the times I've been there, the guy, always the same guy, cooks it, and he always makes it fucking perfect. Cameron's, don't get me wrong, they are very, very competitive with Superette, but sometimes they don't make it the same way every time.
That's a damn shame. Should be like McDonald's. Everything's the same. I fucking love Cameron's. You don't understand. Like, hearing you say that right now hurts me.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Cameron's. Like, Cameron's everything. Like, Cameron's brought us closer together.
I need to buy a Cameron shirt, and they can put me behind the counter. I'll start working for free. I don't care. Just pay me bacon, egg, and cheese is $1 an hour. We're good.
But if you take the amount of times I went to Superette and the amount of times I went to Cameron's, like, it would just totally block out Superette because I go to Cameron's way more than Superette.
Oh, 100%, dude. I went to Cameron's on Sunday, and I told myself I wasn't going to Cameron's anymore. That's a lie. If I say I'm not going to Cameron's, I'm going to Cameron's.
Oh, man.
And I'm not telling anybody either.
The night is not complete without Cameron's. I hope everybody can understand that.
It's the base. It's the foundation. It puts you to sleep. It makes you happy after
even if you
advices.
Even if you just get the classic Cluck and Russian. Try to say that 3 times fast.
Classic Cluck and Russian. Classic Cluck and Russian. Classic Cluck and Russian. Classic Cluck and Russian.
Classic Cluckin' Russian.
Clackin' Ruckin' Clushin'.
Oh man,
I can't. It's fucking. It's amazing the fact that place came into town. It's open 24/7. It's near my house. Like, you can wrap the night up there. You can start your night there. You can start your morning there. You can get lunch there. You can fucking do whatever you want. And the food usually is always fantastic. I've never had a bad experience with the food.
If the place has a section of their menu called Munchies, they have to be fucking amazing. That's all I gotta say.
Well, that's definitely good criteria. That's something that I can get behind as well. You know what I mean? And I think here, go ahead.
But definitely their specialty sandwiches make them who they are. Just you go in there, you have no idea what you want.
Yeah.
But you leave there always satisfied.
That should be their new slogan. That should be their new slogan. Well, Ray, I think you and I have been. Well, let's summarize here. This started at 7 p.m. It's 10:15. I had an hour and 20 minutes of technical difficulties where I was ready to tie a cinder block to my ankle and jump in the Hudson River. I was that close, people. That close. But Ray...
I was definitely not letting that happen.
No, you would have to drive down here and stop me. Take me back to Brewster and get Cameron's. in that order. And then drop a verse on me to make my night better. But I'm glad that you stuck with it. You stuck with the Prism Podcast. This is we were on for about 2 hours. About 10 minutes short honestly, of 2 hours.
Didn't even feel that long.
Didn't feel that long, dude. And the thing with the Prism Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, that I'll say it many times, hopefully in the future, it's about long form conversations. It's about shooting the shit. It's about learning something new. Like, I learned something new about Ray today. You know what I mean? Ray learned something new about me.
About Brian.
You know what I mean?
It's a great idea. I'm very glad to be a part of it, and I'm proud that Brian came to me and asked me to be a part of it.
Episode number 2, man. Episode number 2. You're the Derek Jeter of the Prism Podcast.
It was a great episode.
It was good. I'll tell you what, I had a great time, dude. You know, we're definitely we could talk about so much more. We really can.
Oh yeah.
But 100%. I think it's a good place to stop here, reflect, put this shit out here. You know, the one thing that I really want people to know is that this is really just about having fun, about shooting the shit, you know, learning from each other. You know, whether you learn something from me or from Ray, or you think I'm a fucking idiot, which is probably, you know, more than true. That's fine if you think that as well. But moreover, it's about creating. It's about having a good time, shooting the shit, you know, having something come in and something come out. That's why it's called, you know, the Prism Podcast. And Ray, you were an excellent second guest. We talked about everything from the Yankees to
I think we did hit all the topics, bro.
We hit virtually all the topics, which we didn't talk about our dream girl. So let me just tell you mine real quick. Ready? Emily Ratajkowski. We're done. It was Kate Upton, but she's married to Justin Verlander now, therefore eliminating me from contention.
Oh my god!
And this is actually the entire reason why I created the podcast is just so Emily Ratajkowski can finally notice me. If ever makes it big, Emily, this is gonna be in our wedding video right here. Yeah. Who's all right? One lady crush. Go.
Oh my god! My newest one.
Sure, you got
a lot of them. Gem Wolfie on Instagram.
I don't know who that is. You're much deeper. I follow a lot of Instagram girls, but I don't know who that is.
You better follow this girl.
Tag me. Send me some linkage, dude.
I will do it right now.
Good shit. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap things up here, Ray. It was fantastic having you on. This was an absolute awesome time. Sorry about all the technical difficulties that luckily the listeners don't have to put up with, which is great. However, I'm now $40. I have $40 less rich than I was. You know what?
It's going to be a good investment. I can tell you that.
I hope. Yeah, $40 on a podcast. That's so far. That's pretty. I'm pretty satisfied with that. I'm not pissed off about that. And I should be getting another microphone for Christmas, so I'll be able to do in-person interviews, which is really what I'm looking forward to. Having people come to the studio, having a beer, you know, kicking it. Hopefully, getting some cameras as well. The podcast is going to develop. It's going to become, you know, as things go along here and I hopefully gain more traction, more stuff is going to come along. You know, a lot of cool guests are going to come on. I have a spreadsheet of people that I want to bring on and topics. So, you know, stick with it. You know, these are long form, like I said. You know, not right for everybody, but I feel like it's the best way just to have a good time and, you know, kind of have people learn about myself and whatever guests I have on. So, Ray, don't hang up yet. We're going to do some after show discussion.
Okay.
You know how that should go.
Yeah.
But say goodbye, Ray, to all the 51 of the Prism Podcast fans so far.
I just want to say that it was fun. Almost 2 hours.
Yeah, actually, you know what? It's about 2 hours.
Wow. It didn't even feel like 2 hours. I mean, I feel like I could talk for another 2 hours.
I know, I could too, but I gotta fucking take a train all the way uptown, which is gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, but I gotta say, like, anybody that takes the time to actually listen to this, thank you, because we both put a lot of time into this, especially Brian. I tried to hit all my points I wanted to reach. I definitely didn't, but hopefully I'll be on one of the future episodes. So,
100%. We did very good, to be honest with you, in terms of topics.
Yeah.
We really did. You know, and from that, we have more things to discuss, which, you know, you'll be able to come on again.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I'm excited. I'm excited for Brian, for the Prism Podcast. And,
well, I'm excited for Ray. There's good things going on, man. We're 23 years old. We're young. We're creating stuff. Right, and that's always important. Creating, having fun, doing your thing, but at the same time, working hard, having a vision, getting everything, being a man, being the adult. You know, a lot of things happen at 23, dude. and
Exactly.
we're doing our thing. Not much else about it. All right, well, until next time, Prism Podcast listener. No, just kidding. Have a good night. Have a good night, everybody. See you next time. Prism Podcast. Don't
We
forget
out.
it. We out. Bitch.